Ooh, that was loud. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 6th episode of Season 2 of the Silver and Bro Show. I'm your host, good old JR. That's my brother, Julian. Today,
Actually, I want to be known as Just Win Jules from now on.
Just Win Jules. That's what you got?
Does that got a nice ring to it?
Fine. This is Just Win Jules. All right. Jeez.
Come on, I got to keep
Two-
it lightweight.
Two seasons in, and you think you get a nickname. Jesus. Jesus. Anyway, we're here to recap the Chicago Bears game. We're also here to look forward to the second, this is our second one, right? Yeah, our second divisional matchup against the Denver Broncos. Now, obviously, let's just get this out of the way. We know what's up, all right? We're going to cover the Raiders, and we cover the Raiders as much as we can. We're going to talk about right now, just for the first few part of the show, the whole thing with John Gruden. So the people that don't know, John Gruden resigned yesterday as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders due to some, let's call it inappropriate emails. More than inappropriate emails. And look, people can say what they want. I've heard this all day today, all day. What do I think about it? What's going to happen? What was your reaction? What was your everything about it? Here was my reaction to this news. It happened. He did what he did. He knew what he did was wrong. That's it. He knew what's up. He made the bed. He paid for it. The best way I can describe John Gruden now is the best way to forget this whole thing ever happened is to forget the man himself. That's it. I mean, there's nothing more we can say. He knew what he did was wrong. He knew what he put was wrong. And, and the thing is, the reason I'm being very careful right now is because, with the whole world, and I did a show earlier with my buddy Brandon, who usually does join us. I tell him, and I always tell him, we got to be careful what we say because it's just a different world, where everybody's obviously filming right now. I can go to the grocery store. People are filming 2 hours away because there's a deal 2 for $5 for honey bunches of oats or whatever. Something's always being filmed. Now, you got to be careful what you write. You got to be careful what you say. He knows what he said was wrong. He knows this. My thing about it, the NFL handles that because this is not a Raider problem anymore. That is a John Gruden problem now. It's over. He deals with it. That's it. Now, the only thing that I do get people is, people have been talking about, the whole Dave Chappelle special, where they wanted to cancel him because of his comments, of his comedy and everything. And then he laid out the blueprint just a few days ago or a couple weeks ago when he did his special, and now we're seeing it live. All I'm saying is this. He did what he did. That is a John Gruden problem now. I wish him the best at whatever he does. I'm just more focused. I heard this saying a long time ago. I can't worry about the people that's not on the staff. I can't worry about the people that's not playing. The only thing I can do is just cover the team on who's playing, who's not playing, and that's it. Who's on the staff, who's not on the staff. To John Gruden, I wish you the best, man. Go ahead, man.
Well, kind of like what JR said, it's just it's very unfortunate that it had to go down that way. There's a lot of people talking and, stuff like that. The best way I could put it is, is he said what he said. You know what I mean? It obviously offended people. I think maybe he put it in a message thinking nobody would ever see that. You know what I mean? It's probably just him and a buddy talking, kind of like what the old Donald Trump thing happened a couple years ago. It's just they call it locker room talk or whatever. Yeah. Really at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's unfortunate because everybody in the Raider Nation loves Chucky. He's a huge Raider fan, Raider supporter. And it was, a move that had to be made. Everybody understands it had to be made that way because it just looked very, very bad.
Yeah, there's nothing more to it than that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, this is more of a Chucky problem than it is a Raider problem. The Raiders did what they had to do. Mark Davis did what he had to do. He accepted the resignation. They're going to keep going. They got a game to worry about. That's it. That's it. And, people can be mad all they want. People can be happy all they want. The fact of the matter is, this doesn't affect us in a way because the way I see it is I'm going to put it to you in best terms that I know. You know, my brother can tell you I'm not the biggest, you know, Bible thumper in the world. None of that. But there's one thing I did learn. Anything, you know, and the one phrase I always try to tell people is, "He who has not sinned may throw the first stone." That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Because for the people that are out there that are criticizing,
Yeah.
best believe we go back 10 years, we'll find something.
Yeah.
So, and I'll leave it
We
at
should
that.
just leave it at that. Dude.
And I'll leave it
Because
at
you
that.
know what? Maybe we say something or whatever that maybe out there somebody sees it and it's like, well, you know, because you know that's the way it goes. You know what I mean? If you agree or you disagree or whatever, there's gonna be somebody out there that takes it out of context and says, well, you know, you shouldn't agree with that or you shouldn't disagree with that, or you know, at the end of the day, like you said, it's a Chucky problem. We disagree, we don't, or agree. It doesn't matter at this point. It's over. It's done. We wish it wouldn't have went down that way, but it did. You know,
and that's it. And really, that's
I'll leave it at this too. A lot of people are saying that maybe with the way things were going, I mean, at the point where it was, I mean, really to lose that bad to a mediocre Bears team, maybe that influenced Mark Davis to maybe be like, hey, this is going down the crapper anyways. But I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying.
I know.
Just
I get
know.
it. I get it. There's so many theories out there
that happen behind the closed doors. Who knows?
Who and really knows? And I mentioned to my friend Brandon and people that I did on my Instagram page. When they told me like, what did you think about it? It's like, well, the first thing that I thought about is it's kind of weird that on the 10-year anniversary, Al, came into my mind when I was watching that game on Sunday. I was at the game and I was thinking of Al that day because it was the 10-year anniversary. And, maybe, it got me thinking that, and like I said, this is going to be another topic for another day. When, he traded Gruden away, it made me kind of think that, did Al know something that we didn't know? Because the one thing I will say about Al is Al was he was more about character than anything else.
For sure.
It was character before ability. And that's about it. And, maybe he knew something we didn't know. We'll never know because, unfortunately, the man's gone.
Right.
Unfortunately, rest in peace. But like I said, I'll leave it at this much. And I'll keep saying it at this much. It's a Chucky problem. It's not a Raider problem. So I'm just here to talk about the Raiders. Unfortunately, we do have to talk about Chucky because I know that was one of the things because we cover the Raiders. So it'd be weird not to talk about it, but I'll leave it at this. For the first 10 minutes of the show, put it like this. It's a Chucky problem. It's not an art problem anymore. I wish him the best, and that's it. That's it. So
email signed and done. Sent.
Pretty much. It's like it's not my problem no more. So now let's get to our real problem.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears came into Nevada, and let's just call it what it is. It was an ass whooping.
They stomped a muzzle in our ass.
Yeah, they did. And there was nothing that the Raiders could have done that game. And again, I'm going to go back to it. I always try to find positives no matter what in any situation I can. The one positive I will take away from this game is, yes, even though the defense did give up a lot of gains, like a lot of gains in the rushing game, it wasn't as effective as it was the first 4 weeks.
They still
held their own.
Yeah.
I mean, to think about it like this: to give up 17, to have the offense, to keep creating 3 and outs, to give the offense the ball back, to try to make something happen out of nothing that's been working all day. That's all credit to because the defense did their thing. Now, I get it. Was there a couple questionable calls? Yeah, but I'm never going to blame the refs. I mean, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of stupid. It's like, look, man, Raider Nation, fan bases all across the NFL, like the real diehards know, you can't blame it on the refs. Like, that is like the stupidest thing you can ever do. You can never blame a game on a ref because it's like, dude, you know what you did. You hit Justin Fields kind of a little bit after he threw the ball. You hit Justin Fields again after he threw the ball. And I get it. Did it look bad? No, but every defense should know you cannot breathe on a quarterback in today's NFL.
After the ball's out.
After the ball's out of his hands?
So let it go.
That's it. Let it go. There's nothing more you can do at that point. You did your job, and that's it. But the problem is, how do you tell a man to stop his momentum going when he's playing his heart out and everything? I get it. It's hard. It's hard. I'm not in that situation. That's why I'm here, and they're on the field. I can't speak on them. But however, after 2-3 seconds, he doesn't have the ball. You can let it go. You can let it go. Now, I will say this though. Again, the offense has been kind of sputtering here the last 2 weeks. It's kind of been on the downfall of what they're trying to do and what we know they're capable of doing. The only consistency I know that I see in this offense so far is literally just Hunter Renfrow. That's our only constant. That's not good. Again, the offensive line, I guess they do listen to our show because they reshuffled. And here's the worst part about it. Even though it didn't look like it, they actually played better numbers-wise than they did last week against the Chargers. So maybe something is working. I don't know. With the trading deadline right around the corner, it wouldn't shock me if we either sign a couple free agents or we make a couple phone calls, because that offensive line is still pretty bad. Because literally what it is, it's Kolton Miller and then everybody else is just there. I mean, there was one film that somebody kept posting where Kolton Miller did his job and the 4 other offensive linemen did a block. Nobody. And again, I get it. They're young. They're going to learn. But it's like when you're not even blocking nobody, that's not good. That just shows me the awareness of the rest of the offensive line. It ain't there.
Right. Yeah. If you think about it offensively, Renfrow, like you said, has been doing this thing. But, even at that point, I mean, to give Carr the time to be able to get passes out right now, it's like he's got to scramble inside of the pocket sometimes, even to get a little bit more time. It's the O-line, man. They definitely really, really need to do something about this, and soon with the trade deadline coming up. Kolton Miller's been terrific. It's just those other 4 guys, man. And something's got to happen. Even with the shift, I mean, if you think about it, Brandon Parker still gave up a couple sacks. Leatherwood still gave up penalties, even in the right guard position.
Yeah.
I didn't see any bad snaps from
Andre
looked a little bit better,
Yeah, but again, it's just to the point now where this is just getting ridiculous, and it's just becoming a factor now where it's like, again, Mike Mayock, this is your lineup, dude. You kind of
no. He said we got more younger, we got more athletic, we got more faster and more stronger at the O-line.
I don't see it.
His words, not mine.
Not ours. His words. I don't see it because the only thing I see is just an offensive line getting pushed back every single week. And the thing is, it's not going to get easier. It's never going to get easier. And
I mean, if you think about it, you put 9 points up on the Bears. Okay, maybe people would take that away and say, man, what a great Bears defense. They're okay. They're good. Nothing to take away from them. It's just a horrific Raiders offensive line.
Oh yeah, it's
that once you put pressure on the quarterback, I mean, after that it could, it falls. No, how many rushing yards? Has anybody got that statistic?
Oh,
I would say probably give or take 30, if 30,
if 30. I mean, it was rough. It was rough to see that. And here's the thing now, and not to go back to the whole Chucky thing, he's gone. Okay, Rich Bischotta is going to be the new interim.
Yeah.
Okay, the special teams coordinator.
40 years in the league.
Yeah, 40 years in the league. Yeah. He's been around. He's been around quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be his first kind of
shake,
to kind of see what he's got. And here's the thing. This is Mike Mayock's team now. He's got full control of this now. Okay, Rich and Mike Mayock really have to talk about this because it's weird to kind of think, that you coming out and say it's playoffs or bust. Right now, it's bust. And, even though you guys are 3-2, even though the Raiders are 3-2, it's bust, man.
It's a dumpster fire.
It's bad. And, obviously this does not help because it's already hard to win without the distractions. Now you want to add it. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
I mean, they don't have a head coach. I mean, they have an interim coach, which is great and all,
Yeah.
but that's not their real coach.
No, it's not. And now here's the thing about it. If Mike Mayock is serious, you got to call up people, man. My first suggestion to fix this offensive line, you got to call Mitchell Schwartz from Kansas City. We actually have a comment. Do y'all think the team quit on the coach?
Against the Bears, I don't think so. Honestly, I'll get it. I'll take that one first. I really don't think so. I think what happened on Sunday is just the Raiders just being the Raiders. They start off hot, and this is where we hit the peak, and we started to come down. I mean, if anybody out there that's listening that's a lifelong Raider fan, or I mean, just go back a couple years. What do they always do? The last 2 seasons, we start off hot. There was a point in time where we were 6-2, 6-2, 6-3, and what happened? They lose to a horrible 0-8 Jets, and
Well, it was the Falcons. We barely beat
yeah,
the Jets.
yeah, and it's just nothing surprises us. That's why when we talked about the Raiders starting hot at 3-0, we said, it's good. That's great. That's great to get those wins.
And the thing is now, like, I can go back now and I can tell those same people that told me that I'm a hater or, man, you're a disgrace to being a Raiders fan. It's like, no, because I've seen this before.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
and
that's the thing with me. It's like, I'm to the point now where it's like, dude, I've seen this for 20 years. Seen this for 20 years. Okay, cool. You beat the Baltimore Ravens. All right, cool. Go beat the Steelers. Oh, cool. You beat the Steelers. Okay, go beat the Dolphins. All right, cool. Show me what you really got. Keep proving us wrong that you actually did improve. It's like,
and now it's going to be really, really tough. Now the cards are really stacked against them. But as far as to answer the question, did they quit on Gruden against the Bears? No, I think that was just the Raiders being the Raiders.
Yeah,
and not in a hateful way. I'm a diehard Raider.
I don't think they quit. I don't think they quit on Gruden. I just think that it didn't help their case because like I mentioned earlier, it's hard to win in the league without distractions.
They were already having problems the week before that offensively, which was against
the Chargers.
The Chargers,
and that's the thing. It's
they still put points on the board, but it took them until the third quarter.
Yeah. And that's the thing I always tell people. It's like it's hard to win in the NFL without distractions. Now you add this. Yeah. That's too much of a distraction to kind of overcome.
Yeah. Even though it's good to see the actual Raider players. We follow them on Twitter and Instagram. And from what I'm understanding, what I'm hearing is that the team is coming together and they want to, still be able to ride out the season, which is great. I mean, that's the type of attitude you want to have. But I mean, it's hard enough already to try to win without a head coach. It's disaster probably on the horizon now.
And like I said, the positives to me is the defense is actually holding up.
Yeah.
But the defense can only do so much until because the offense has to put up points.
And then if you think about it too, bro, a lot of people are talking about this. I mean, that's great that we have a good defense, but I mean, if they bring in a new head coach next year, Gus Bradley's not going to be there.
No,
they're going to bring in their own people.
And that's what I'm saying. I think this is Rich Bischotta's one chance to. If they come out and ride this strong and they surprise the hell out of everybody, Mark Davis really does have to consider Rich staying and the coaching staff to stay intact.
For sure.
Because now, I mean, we've always heard the term all hands on deck, all hands on deck.
Yeah.
Now it's really all hands on deck.
Yeah.
Rich is going to take care of his unit. Gus is going to take care of his guys. And, Greg Olson's going to take care of his guys, obviously.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, Greg, you're going to have to call the plays. Gus, you're going to have to call the defensive plays. Rich, get that special teams unit together. Now it's really all hands on decks. And the ones that are wearing the C's on the jerseys, it's like, hey, man.
Yeah, we really need you now.
Yeah, we need you now. So if you're the offensive captain or whatever, hey, man, you gotta talk to the offensive guys. If you're the defensive captains, you got to talk to them because it's like, yo, I know we've been hitting a lot. I know we've been kind of criticized a little bit, but let's just kind of write it out. Now, I know it doesn't make it easier when these players go into IR and everything. But it's just, hey, you got to ride the wave.
And if you think about it, a lot of people, especially Gruden haters that were, hating before this all happened, they're going to get to see what it is for somebody else to play make the play calls. You know what I mean? And from what I understand, the new interim coach has never called a play in his whole entire career. He's been a special teams coach. So I don't know. Maybe this could be,
This is pretty much everybody's shot, the coordinator's shot to show that, hey man,
Exactly.
we got this, so we can do this.
Greg Olson is coached Carr on 2 separate occasions, and he kind of knows him. I think he coached him as a rookie.
He did. He was his rookie, yeah.
Right. So I mean, he
Up
kind of
until
knows
the,
what he can do and what he can't.
Up until the Del Rio era, I think.
Right.
I think it was Dennis Allen when he first came in here.
Right.
And then, he had Greg Olson.
Right.
And then, they did their time together, and then
so let's see Greg Olson can maybe dial up the plays that we've been missing. Maybe he's somebody not as stubborn as Chucky that will say, hey, I don't care. It's going to work. It's going to work. And it really wasn't. You know what I mean?
Maybe we'll see. And like I said, we'll see what happens. I mean, look, the Chicago Bears, I'm not going to take anything away from them. I think, if people follow me during my mock draft specials and everything I do, these last 2 off seasons, I've said it from the get-go. Justin Fields was my second-rated quarterback coming out of Ohio State, behind Zach Wilson. Now, I'm not saying that Justin Fields had a good game, but there's promise there for Chicago that, now Chicago has to really lean towards Justin Fields and say, hey, you're my starter, dude. And, to the Bears, congratulations. You guys came into Vegas, stumped a mud hole on us, and that's it. Good luck to you guys the rest of the year.
And Khalil Mack, which I won't forget, threw up the O in Oakland.
I think he was a little lost. I think
he knows what he was doing.
He knows he's in Vegas, right? Whatever.
He knows what he was doing.
Either way, but let's move on to our second matchup, and this is a very key matchup because
division game.
It's a division game. They both have lost their last 2 after starting 3-0, and now somebody has to go to 3-3. Possibly, this is for second place. The reason I say it's for second place because the Chargers, you're not catching that train.
Yeah,
you're not catching that.
We just talked about that yesterday, and again, we're just being realistic. We're Raider fans. We love the Raiders and everything, but the Chargers are on fire, and that's not getting put out anytime soon.
Nah, I mean, unless something major happens,
of course,
injuries. If Herbert goes down, God forbid that happens, because then
any injuries.
Yeah. Right now, the strongest fish in the pond in the AFC West, it's the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're just playing.
Which is crazy that the Chiefs are just not.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about that right now.
Well, I mean, nobody. I mean, Stephen A. kind of talked about it a little bit. I mean, saying that they're dead. And I'm like, I don't think they're dead. I just think they just have to fix the defensive. They just have to tweak.
Side.
They just have to tweak the defensive side, and then they're okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I could say the same thing about the Broncos. They just had to tweak the offensive side, and it's like, okay, well, they got this shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Same thing with the Raiders. Just tweak the offensive side, and you're good.
The offensive line.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So anything can be fixed. It's just who can figure it out quicker is the real question. But the Denver Broncos, they're coming in. They have to go to Denver. And I always love this type of matchup because I always say I want to play them early and away quick.
Get away from the cold.
Yeah, get away from the cold at the end of the year. I always wanted to go to Kansas City early. I always wanted to go to Denver early, and I always want to go to the Chargers early, so that way we don't have to deal with it down the road. And this game, it's going to be an important one. They're both 3-2. Look, the Denver Broncos, they've hit kind of a bit of a wall, just like the Raiders. They started out 3-0, and everybody can say what they want to say. It's like, oh, well, they beat the Jaguars, they beat the Giants. It's like, guys, those are still NFL franchises. You still got to play, okay? You still have to play the game. And the way I see it, it's not going to be easy. Our offensive line, it has to be prepared. Von Miller's coming, and he knows he's coming. He's going to attack Brandon Parker. He's going to attack Leatherwood. He's going to attack Andre James up the middle. He's going to probably even abuse John Simpson. It's just the thing is, it's the Raiders have to figure this out. And we're going to get into it right now. But for me, the key component to this matchup this week is, I love what the defense is doing, but again,
the offense.
Again, Gruden said it. Yeah, we do need more turnovers. Realistically, you give You give any NFL team, any NFL franchise that says, "Hey, man, we only gave up 17, and all your offense has to do is score a touchdown and kick the extra point to tie it to go to overtime." After everything that has happened, throughout that whole game, and the fact that the Raiders still had a chance to beat the Bears, and the game ends by Carr overthrowing Brian
Wow.
Edwards. No, it was Edwards.
Oh, was it?
By a receiver who's 6'3". That's not good. Like that, it got to a point where, like I said, both units had to come together and pretty much talk like, "Hey, we're stopping them. Yeah, we give up touchdowns here and there, but we're giving you chances to get something going. If you guys don't want to do anything, tell me too, because what the fuck are we doing?" And that's the thing. So for me, what it really comes down to is this offense better pick it the fuck up, because if not, Hunter Renfrow said it the best. It's great to be 3-0, but we can be 3-14 by the end of the year, because anything can happen. So I love how Renfrow put it. It's one game at a time, but this game is very important. I'm not going to say that it's a must win, but
It'd be nice.
If they do not win, then Raider Nation, hang on to your butts, man. Because I'm going to be honest with you.
It's going to get sloppy.
I can be honest with you right now. If the Raiders would have played either Detroit or Jacksonville right now, they could probably beat us straight up. I don't care if Jacksonville's 0-5. I don't care if Detroit's 0-5. Right now, the way we're playing and the way Detroit and Jacksonville's playing, they could probably beat the Raiders right now. So call it what you want. Call me a hater. Do whatever you want. But I just see it on the film. You guys, if you diehards, like, well, you're just a hater. All right, well, say what you want.
We'll see, man. Sunday, look, here's the deal. Sunday's a big matchup. That's one of the biggest rivals to the Raiders. It's the Broncos. We're going to be out there in Denver. And, everybody that's still a big, huge Raider fan wants to see the Raiders get out of the hole, man, And it's funny because, again, I'm not trying to be negative about this, but we say it every year, and it's just like, I get tired of saying it. Let's get out of the hole. Whatever. It is what it is. We started off 3-0, so obviously the team has talent. Maybe it was a coaching thing, and we'll see in the next couple of weeks. You know what I mean? But right now, for what we can hope for as Raider fans, is that better play calling. Hopefully, be able to at least run the ball, if not screens. There was a lot of things that were coming up. I mean, you cannot throw the ball every single play. You got to be able to run the ball in the NFL in order to win games. So if you're not going to be able to run the ball, maybe you could mix in short passes or screen passes or something. But there's some way, somehow, you got to figure that out. It's going to be a lot of play calling. That's what I'm looking forward to on Sunday's game, play calling.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, with the whole play calling thing, we'll see what. Now, I did mention, the trade deadline coming up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, here are, we all kind of think about it like, what can we do to improve our team and everything? Well, there's only 3 scenarios where I see now where we can trade, where our team can get better. If they want to make the playoffs. If not, then I hate to say it, Raider fans, next year, not going to be any better. It's rebuild time.
Yeah.
And now and I know what you're thinking. I know the first thing that everybody's going to say, well, what about Carr? I'll leave it to you like this. It's been 8 years. I'm over it. Anyway, if they want to be a playoff team right now, 1, sign Mitchell Schwartz. I mentioned it earlier. He's a free agent right tackle. He's been to the Pro Bowl. Yeah, he's not the player he once was, but I can guarantee you he's better than Leatherwood and Brandon Parker combined. 2, I'm hearing it. I would love to see it. Call Dallas and see what they kind of want for Nick Martin. I mean, I get it. He's got some injury issues. I get that. But again, his contract is kind of increasing every year. They're not going to be able to afford that. Here pretty soon for Dallas, they're going to have to start cutting some fat on that offensive line like the Raiders did this year. Why not elevate it now and see if Nick Martin's available, and see if he wants to play left guard for the Raiders, or number three. Number three right now, trade and get some more picks later. I mean, we talked about this now. Now, I know what you're saying is like, how are we going to trade players if we want to make it to the playoffs? Well, the way I see it, with me right now, with Pharrell and Arnett, we got to get over it. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Whatever people thought Pharrell was going to be and whatever people thought Arnett was going to be, that ain't going to happen. Right now, if somebody offered us a 5th rounder for Arnett, I would help Arnett move. I would literally go to his house in Nevada and be like, what are you taking, my man? You don't have to move. I don't want you to get hurt so that way the trade doesn't go through. Just sit down there, sit in that chair, tell me what you're taking. I will put it in the box for you, and I will put it in the UPS, everything, your U-Haul. And then I will personally
pass that physical.
Yeah, I want you to pass that physical, man. So just sit down right there. Don't do anything stupid. But for me right now, it's just literally what it is. And, people want to say like, well, there was a report out there, Carr possibly, the agents did not, or the negotiations stopped talking for about an extension. Good. And people are going to say that, well, Carr's our best quarterback. Guys,
it's been 8 years.
It's been 8 years. Okay,
listen. And that's not a knock on him. Well, it is a knock on him, but there's a lot of people out there that feel really strongly about being a Carr supporter and stuff like that. I'm a Carr supporter. I love him, but at the same time, it's just how many more years? I mean, it's just like you see franchises in those 8 years just kind of double up with wins every year, and it's just like we're still on the same boat. Is it all his fault? No, definitely not.
No.
But
the thing is, here's my thing. People want to bring that up. Well, he's had 6 coaching changes. Okay. Well, don't you think if you won more, you think we wouldn't be in this problem? Well, what's the defense? Well, he's got a defense now. What's the excuse now? Well, he doesn't have a line. Okay. So if we get him another O-line, but the defense doesn't play up to the standards again, it's the defense fault again. How can I put this? When you want to be the leader of a team, and I say this every year, whether it's the number 1 pick or when you want to pay somebody franchise money, I want you to look at that guy. Can he elevate your team better than what they know they really are? If he can, pay the man. If not, it ain't a knock on him, dude. At this point of Carr's career, I would look at it as Nick Foles. He has to go to a situation where everything is perfect. Great O-line, great defense, serviceable wide receivers. And all he has to do is don't fuck it up. Don't screw it up. Can I trust him for 17 games? Nah. I can't do it no more. This is going to be Carr's time now, more than ever, to show us, okay, dude, you want to be part of the Raiders? I get it. You want to retire a Raider? You want to stay with the Raiders? Okay, and I said it earlier. It's very weird when players say, I want to be a Raider. I get that. This is your time now. There's nothing holding you back. Prove us wrong. Because if not, we can let you go. We save 19 mil, and we rebuild. Trust me.
It's coming
we said we had to suffer through Jamarcus Russell. Saying goodbye to you would not be that hard either. Just saying. I'm just speaking for myself. All right. Saying goodbye to Jamarcus, drafting Jamarcus Russell number 1 was hard. Saying goodbye to you would not be that hard. That's just me. I'm not speaking for nobody else. That's just me. Okay. It's been 8 years. I'll put it to you this way. I hear it all the time from Raider fans. Well, Carr's good. He just needs this. Carr's good. If he just needs that. If Carr's so good, why did Indianapolis choose Carson Wentz, who has major injury problems, over Derek Carr? If Derek Carr's so good, why did the Rams choose Matthew Stafford over Derek Carr?
I don't think Carr was on the trading block, bro.
No, I'm just saying, like, okay, if he's really that good, nobody wants to acquire him for a cheaper price than Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff? I'm just saying, if he's really that good,
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, bro. Look, here's the deal. At the end of the day, Derek Carr is a decent quarterback. He's good. He could be good, but like you said, everything has to be perfect around him. And it's just the reality is it's not going to be, especially with the, patchy franchise like the Raiders, man. We wish everything, was gravy, but it's just
it's
not.
not.
It's just not. Especially with last week. I mean, I've never heard of that before where, this is that new cancel culture. Obviously, again, going back to the Gruden thing, because you have to, because now that's going to affect everybody. Obviously, you said, and we all understand, it's a Gruden thing, but it also trickles down to the players.
Yeah, it trickles down and to an extent, though.
Yeah,
to an extent, because at this, we got to remember these players. It's like, listen, I know you're my coach and everything, but I'm a man.
Yeah.
This is my job. I listen to you because you're my boss. But after my hours are done, I go home. I got families to worry about. I got kids to worry about. I got bills I got to pay. You know what I mean? And so again, it's like, yeah, I get it. It's a Gruden thing, and it trickles down to the players to an extent. Okay, we can bring up the Urban Meyer thing too. Where there was a report out there that there was an insider, that he saw Urban Meyer walk to positions. Like he literally walked into like meetings while these players were getting ready for their game plan. And, he told them that he apologizes to these individual positions and that they started laughing at him. The players don't care, dude. Like, and I'm not saying that they don't care. It's just to an extent that they care. They're just like, hey, look, man, I'm just here to ball. You tell me what game plan we're going to go with. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability because that's what you're paying me to do. But you
worry about your own problems.
Yeah, you got your own problems.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't got to deal with that. Like the player, Yannick said it the best, dude. I got no comment. Because it ain't about me. This is a you thing, not a me thing. Like, I'm just here to help the Raiders win.
Exactly.
And, and that's where it shows. And the same thing that Jacob said, Crosby said, and all these guys said, I'm just here to help the Raiders win. It's like, dude, that's the mentality that the players should have. It's like, I'm just here to help the franchise win. Whoever's fucking right in the boat. I'm here to do whatever we can to fucking win. So, I get it. To an extent, I'm sure some players are going to miss Chucky. And I'm sure there's some that are not. Whatever the case. Look, we've all been to jobs where you liked a coworker and you didn't like a coworker, but you had to do your job.
And with that being said, what do we got on Sunday?
We got the Denver Broncos. So
let's get into it.
If you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at them, because if they win, they move to second, we move to third, and Kansas City, surprisingly, in dead last, and the Chargers. Fuck, they were first, 5-1. Who saw that coming? Who the hell saw that coming?
So what do we got to worry about with the Denver Broncos? Obviously, Teddy Bridgewater, he's pretty good. Receivers, I think they got
some good ones. Jerry Jeudy's finally. He finally controlled. Because last year he kind of played like, he was fast, but his body was out of whack. Like he was just out of position.
There was a lot of drops.
It was a lot of drop. And I think what it was just miscommunication and his body angles and everything. I think with Teddy, he really helped them understood like, hey, man, it's here, not over here. I know you're fast, but stand here and then do your plays. Catch the ball first. And I think that's what it was too. It was just concentration. Yeah. He would try to run before he catched. And it's like, come on, dude. Yeah. Like catch it and then do your thing,
Yep.
And Jerry Jeudy, he's really bounced back. Melvin Gordon and, Javonte Williams, they're a nice little 1-2 combo punch right there. And honestly, that offensive line, it's really good for Denver. Yep. And again, it's, whoever we have, Von Miller is always there. Von Miller is always a threat until the day he retires. That's it. Okay. And even then, even if he retires, I'm still going to look at the fucking depth chart to make sure he's not in there. Because it's like, are you sure he's gone? Because, I don't want that motherfucker no more. And like, I'm good. And all the Raiders really have to do is, look, in Denver, the best way to beat Denver, you got to establish a run game. You have to establish that in Denver. If you can't establish a running game in Denver, you're going to have a long day. I don't care how bad you are as a franchise. I don't care how good you are as a team. If you can't establish a running game in Denver, whether Denver is at the highest of the highs or the lowest of the lows, if you can't establish that run game in Denver, you're not going to win many very games at Denver, because Denver is one of those weird stadiums where it's high altitude, it's very hard to breathe, and you need to establish that running game. So your passing game, you can at least counterattack that with your passing game on the defense. So
They've always been strong defensively. I mean, who are we joking? Who are we kidding? You know what I mean? Obviously, I think if I'm not mistaken, Chubb, is it?
Bradley?
He was out for the year, right? We're
I
talking
don't.
about the defensive end from
Linebacker. Yeah, I know
yeah.
what you're talking about. I just I don't know to the extent of his injuries yet. I think they're going to put out the final reports on Thursday,
Okay.
and then we'll know from there.
So obviously him, Von Miller. I'm trying to think of somebody else on the dude.
I mean, and they got that they got that corner now. They got Patrick Surtain there.
That's right. Their first overall pick.
And he's playing really well as a rookie.
Yep.
They got Justin Simmons, that safety back there. So Denver defensively, they're very strong, which has always been the case with Denver. So, the Raiders, you got to establish that running game, because if not,
their hands full, man.
It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one.
At Denver, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, so the Orange Crush is going to be out there, and they're going to make it really difficult. I'm sure that they're going to be talking crap all game.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when we give them all this, feeding power to be able to talk crap. So it's going to be a long one, man. Are you ready for my prediction?
Go ahead.
Man. I might as well just give it. All right. This is the first time in a long time, man, but probably a first. I think they're going to lose this one, man. I think they lose this one like 21-6.
Jeez. We're going to do worse than the Bears.
It's a dumpster fire right now, man. I want to see my Raiders win. But it's just not the deal right now, man. Let's just get past this game, really start putting a game plan, from the start of the week. This just happened yesterday. This whole week has gone to garbage now. I mean, they already started practicing. They start Wednesday's practice tomorrow, obviously go through the week. Let's just get this game behind us. And, bye week's going to be coming here after.
And that'll give everybody a chance to kind of get back healthy. And it's like, all right, let's refresh this thing and let's see what happens and everything. But me personally right now, if you guys see my other show, not many times I picked the Raiders to win. I picked them to win last week, and I should have just
let you down.
And they let me down, like always. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like
we sound like a Raider hater. This is the Silver and Bro show, man. It's
not that I'm hating. I mean, what? Okay, do you think I'm hating, or is it because you're upset, or are you hating, or is it because I'm like telling the truth?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, it's like, dude, it's been 20 years. You want to impress me? Here's the thing. I'm not even saying go win a playoff game. Just go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying win a playoff game. Just go to it.
Get a decent season going, man.
And that's it.
And that's why I think we were all so happy to see them go 3-0. And it's funny, man, because again, I'm not talking crap on the Raider Nation, but people were already talking Super Bowl.
And I'm like,
3-0
Super Bowl. I'm like, are you high?
And it's funny because now you look back on it and it makes you almost laugh. And
I laugh all the time.
It is what it is. But look, we got the Broncos on Sunday. I'm obviously hyped to see the team. There is things to look forward to. Maybe the coach just pull one out of his hat, dude. We'll see.
Oh yeah,
we'll see. Maybe they come up with different stuff. Maybe Chucky not being there lets the guys open up a little bit more. Maybe Carr, does a couple audibles. Who knows? We'll see.
And what I'm saying right now is, listen, everybody in that organization is playing for their job next year.
For sure.
So
let's see what happens.
And here's the thing, we don't have to keep you. Because I'm telling you all this right now. I'm telling you this right now. What is it? October 12th, 2021. All right. I can only probably name a handful of people today that I can see going that are coming back to the Raiders next year. Like maybe 10. Okay. And it'll be
or staff.
Just Raiders overall. Just players overall.
Okay.
Staff wise, if they blow an egg, if they lose this after starting 3-0, yeah, I'm good. What would it hurt to rebuild again? We've been doing it for 20 years. What's another one? So again, and people are gonna look at this and you're gonna be like, "You're such a hater." It's like, all right, call it whatever you want. Call it whatever you want. You live in your own fantasy world of the Raiders are 3-0, we're going, and I'll live in my world of I actually like to see it to believe it. All right, maybe I'm grouchy, but I'd rather be truthful than living in a land of fantasy. So, people out there, please kind of lay off the stuff to, that way you guys can get it through your head. But anyway, what do we got next week? The Eagles. The Eagles are coming to town. That's right, next week. So
The week after.
No. Next week, right?
No,
Because this Sunday is the Denver Broncos.
Then we got Eagles, and it's bye week.
Yeah, so thank God. Thank God.
Well, hopefully with the Broncos, man, again, and I'll leave it at this. Again, I just, I want to see the team do well. Hopefully, like the players are talking about, they could come together and put something decent on the field, man. Because the last couple of weeks, it's just been like, pulling your teeth out. You know what I mean? Watching these games, it's like, wow. They don't even look like a real NFL football team,
That's why I always laugh whenever they say, there are 31 teams in the NFL, and then there's the Las Vegas Raiders. I know why.
We'll see, man. Denver on Sunday. You guys. I gave out my prediction. You wait for tomorrow.
Oh, you already know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I put it to you like this. There's not many games I look at the schedule right now and say, yeah, we should win that one.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but we'll see on Sunday, guys. It's going to be a fun game. Hopefully, at least, they can show up. And
they'll show up. Oh, they have no choice. They'll be there. Let's see if their spirits are high.
Win.
Oh, my God.
I doubt it. I hope so.
I mean, yikes. Now, like I said, we'll be back next Tuesday. We'll recap the Bronco game. Hopefully we get some good news, and then we'll get ready for Philadelphia, and then get ready for the end of the trading deadline, and then head into bye week. And then hopefully these guys can get better soon. I know the only thing I do have to report before we got into the show, Marcus Mariota's back.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota's back. So
I heard actually there's the linebacker Nicholas Morrow, and then the other one from
Javon White.
Javon White actually are coming off the IR too, but this is they're coming off the IR to get checked to see if they're going to be able to.
Yeah, this is kind of like their 21-day window. Right. So what that is for the people that don't know is the new rule is, okay, you get put on short-term IR, you get 3 weeks off. Then after that, you come back, you get a 21-day window. If you can't come back from that 21-day window, then they will put you on IR.
On season-ending IR.
Yeah. So that way they can open up a roster spot and all that stuff. So hopefully, we saw Jalen back. And if the reports are true, it looks like Nicholas Morrow and Javon White could come back. And that could be a big boost to our defense that's already being kind of depleted.
And to tell you the truth, they've been looking pretty good, regardless with or without them,
Yeah, so and again, we can always use depth. Yeah, there's no such thing as bad depth, guys. Yeah. Any depth is good depth, especially if we can get something on the offensive line. But we'll see what they do. Now, I will be back tomorrow. I got to do my prediction shows for the whole slate of the NFL games. All right, so you guys tune in. I know you guys are probably going to tune in and say, boo, whatever. I don't care. I've heard it all. I'm just too old for this crap, but that's okay. And other than that, I'll see you next Tuesday, man. How does that sound?
Just win Jules, bro. I want to be known from things.
It's been 2 seasons. We can't get nicknames, bro. Not until we get some popularity. Then I'll get you the nickname, okay? If we get popularity, I'll give you Just Win Jules, okay?
There it is.
All right.
If they win on Sunday?
Fine. If they win on Sunday, I will give you Just Win Jules. Just for that week, man. I'll see you later.
Later, people. Good job, man.
Yeah, you know it, man.